Yeah, buddy. Make me feel good. You got the. Bang. Got the fucking seance candles.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another class at the Burndown Academy. Today's class, we're going to talk to you about how to develop your palate while smoking a cigar.
Coming up next, Burndown Academy. What's going on, everybody? This is the Burndown Academy. Class is in session. I'm Justin.
You know it, I'm Eric.
Today we're going to talk about how to develop your palate. Now, what does your palate actually mean? It means being able to recognize flavors in the cigars that you're smoking.
And a lot of people ask us this. They say, how do you develop your palate? How do I get good at smoking cigars?
So to develop your palate, and it's kind of like anything where, especially I always compare it to wines. If you want to know and develop your palate for wines, you got to drink all different wines. It's the same thing with cigars. If you want to develop a palate and understand the different flavor profiles, you got to try different cigars. Just keep smoking. I mean, you're not going to develop a palate by smoking the same cigar, and you're not going to have a palate to distinguish different flavors on your first cigar. It takes time. So just keep smoking cigars, keep trying different cigars, and eventually you'll start picking up different notes between different cigars.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started 3-4 years ago with cigars, I had a box of cigars, humidor full cigars, and I had no idea what mild, medium, full. I had no idea what Maduro, Nicaraguan, Dominican Republic. I had no idea. I thought all cigars were the same. How I came across my cigar adventure really was just smoking different cigars, and now I have a better understanding today with what I like, what I don't like, and it also helped us look into what the cigar was. When you smoke a cigar, Google it. There's an app for everything. Get a cigar scanner app, and you'll get a better feel for what the cigar entails.
When you're smoking a cigar, like Eric said, Google the cigar. So what I tend to do first is I look up what the cigar is, where it's made, the different tobacco that's in the cigar. And then I'll smoke a cigar and I will pull up what's known as a flavor wheel. Flavor wheel just kind of gives you all the different flavors that you may find in a cigar. So I'll pull that up, I'll smoke the cigar, and I'll look at all the different flavors and try to pick out ones that are prominent. And then after that, I'll look up a review on the cigar. And see what other people are saying, what cigar experts and cigar aficionados, cigar sommeliers, whatever you want to call them, what they say about the cigar, what they pick up, and I'll see if I can pick up the same flavors. Throughout doing that, you'll start noticing certain cigars have the same flavors. You know, a lot of times is you pick something up, you're like, what is that? I can't put my finger on it. And then you read the name, boom, you're like, that's it. That's what it is.
When you see people smoking cigars, you're reading reviews, you're seeing pictures of it, and they're explaining these crazy flavors, and you're like, man, how does this person taste an orange peel in a cigar? If you're up to it, I think retrohaling a cigar will bring out those really unique and intriguing flavors that you read about all the time in cigars. Because when you're smoking a cigar just through your mouth, you're going to get most of the basic features of a cigar. You're going to get the peppery feel. You're going to get the sweetness. You're not going to get those distinct flavors like an orange peel. So retrohaling, which means inhaling the cigar and out through your nose, but until you actually retrohale a cigar, that's where you pick up different and more unique flavors, which I think is which a lot of people forget when they're smoking a cigar. And
another tip is don't forget about the cold draw. So the cold draw is actually trying to smoke the cigar before it's lit. So you're going to take a couple of puffs of the cigar before you actually light it, and this is going to allow you to pick up a lot of those subtle flavors. Because once you light the cigar, like Eric said, a lot of the prominent flavors in that blend are going to come out. Because the cigar is lit, it's hot, you're getting a lot of that smoke in.
I highly recommend doing a cold draw. It's just a part of the whole cigar experience. You're taking in flavors that you may not get again when you do smoke the cigar. So it's highly recommended when you're trying to understand the cigar world and trying to understand the different flavors and how to develop your palate, do a cold draw because it's crucial to the whole experience.
And to take another step into that realm of instead of just smoking the cigar, like we talked about the cold draw, don't forget about smelling the cigar too. Smell the wrapper, smell the foot, smell what the fillers are like, because developing the palate is not just your tongue and what you taste. It's about what you smell too, because you can smell certain things in the foot and in the wrapper that's going to trigger senses on your tongue to pick up those notes. So if you smell the cigar, you smell the wrapper, you smell the foot, you smell those fillers, then you go to a cold draw, and then you move into lighting. Now you have 2 pieces of information before you've even started lighting the cigar and smoking it. And those pieces of information can trigger your senses to pick up certain flavors, and you'll know, oh wait, I smelled this thing before, and now I'm tasting this thing on the cold draw, and now I'm tasting something while I'm smoking it. And those 3 pieces of information can help you determine what that flavor actually is.
When it comes to developing your palate, it's just to smoke cigars and just make note of it. If you're really about developing your palate, just make note and just realize what you're smoking, not just you're just puffing away.
So our recommendation is just smoke different cigars, use a flavor wheel, read up on the cigar and what's actually in it. Don't forget about the cold draw. Don't forget about smelling the wrapper and the filler. And just smoke often. Smoke a lot of different cigars, and that's how you'll develop your palate. So thank you for joining us at the Burn Down Academy. That is how to develop your palate for smoking cigars. I'm Justin.
I'm Eric.
Class is adjourned.